Welcome to Cut Daisies and Unicorns, and this is a Trailer Friday.
What?
It is. It's a Trailer Friday, and Steve and I just rolled out of the episode that you're going to see on Sunday, and it's quite the development. That's what I would say.
Oh, it is a whole
quite
loop
the
of insanity is what it is. And you're like, I'm not even sure I could take more insanity from you two. And we actually dug new holes.
We're digging ditches.
Oh my gosh. I mean, like, talk about looking into the field of insanity. And it's, you know how people say, Phil, it's not my monkey, not my circus.
Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, we're creating a circus for you to come. And hey, Barnum and Bailey had 3 rings.
Mhm.
I think in this one, let's see, hold it. We talked about Hinterland. There's there's a circle in the circus.
Yeah, and that was a pretty normal conversation right there.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we bumped over to, what was the first leg? I think I brought up the UFO thing.
You did.
Yeah, so then we
'Cause
talked
you were
about
watching
alien.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, aliens. And we started talking about, from aliens, we went into which presidents really know about aliens and why.
Mm-hmm.
Top secret UFO projects declassified on Netflix. If you wonder what you should do, at least watch the first 3 episodes. We're not going to cover all that stuff in Sunday's episode.
Sure. Yeah. No, we're not digging into that yet.
But then, because of who trusts what and how does this go on, then I leapfrogged into secret society presidents, which led us to the murder of JFK.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, it was a 5-ring circus.
Right. Uh-huh. Yeah. We're much more talented than Ringling Brothers.
Well, you know, Steve-O,
Barnum and Bailey.
he went to clown school. We're not doing any of that.
Uh-huh.
You will not see any part of Jackass 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. No, that's not happening here.
No.
But it's a 5-ring circus.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if you can follow it.
And we're trying to give you all the monkeys so that you can say, it is my monkey and it is my circus.
Which actually, Brad Pitt wasn't it 13 monkeys?
12.
12 monkeys.
Yeah. 12 Monkeys is a trip of a movie too. We didn't even get into that, but
No, because we're doing the trailer.
But that has to do with time jumping too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, sci-fi.
Yeah, and we give you a heads up, folks. We got some great content going on, and quite frankly, if you're here for an interview, it's going to be a while because the content that we need to cover is at such great lengths.
Mm-hmm.
That we're gonna be pulling out all the stops here and
Right.
and diving in.
We're gonna get to the content first right now.
There's a lot of research going on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
If you wonder, hey, what do these guys do? Well, I think I said it 3 times yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I only have 3 things to do in any given day.
Yeah.
I need to get up. I take a shower.
It's good.
You know, it's a common cultural courtesy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, finally, just make sure that we have food to eat for dinner.
There we go.
3 basic things.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, man, I wish my life could be so simple. I'm like, I didn't say life was simple. I said I got 3 things.
All right. He's just broken it down to 3. That's it.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to time block. There's a lot of stuff that has to happen.
Uh-huh.
And so yeah. So I mean, really, this episode, if it doesn't have you doing anything, if you can't laugh, then hey, don't ever check in with us again. Because really, this is the height of a role in a 5-ring circus. I mean, it,
Right.
and it's, I mean, I think you'll find it enjoyable. Maybe like an hour and 5 minutes, 65 minutes, like one of our shorter episodes because of our time crunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Does time really crunch?
That goes back to the time jumping and time warps and
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So I don't know if it crunches. I think time is
Fluid.
yeah.
That's why when music plays and I start wanting to like move
Uh-huh.
and get into motion.
Right.
That's why I do fluid things. I don't do breakdancing.
Yeah, and that's probably good that you don't do breakdancing.
No, I don't want to break things.
Breakdancing would end up just breaking me.
Oh
So.
man, I tried to do a worm once. Talk about digging holes, man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I tried doing the worm. Why would you try? Why?
Well, I mean, at the time I was a sheeple. I was just kind of following what everybody else is doing, and the boys from Detroit knew how to do it. And so they're like, "Hey, Steve, give it a try." And I was like,
Okay.
"All right." And then the guy looked at me and he's like, "That didn't work.
Don't do that anymore." That's where your limit is. Right there is where you're going to cut that off.
Hey, and if you want to hear about the origins of how all of the different secret societies like came into being, I got a great hypothesis. Now recognize we're not doing any of the practices. You know, doctors get to practice.
Right.
Don't you think if they go to school and then they do their internship and all of that stuff happens, don't you think that they should just have their job? But they get to practice medicine. Well, what happens if they practice wrong?
Right.
People say practice makes perfect. Practice doesn't make perfect if you're practicing the wrong stuff.
Right. That's true, because then they call law offices the practice of law too. So
exactly.
I don't want people practicing on my.
And quite frankly, have you ever noticed about the law? When you get in front of a judge, there's no practice about it. He's like, this is what the code is. This is what the law is. You broke the law. You pay the penalty.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then if you're looking at it, then...
So that's why lawyers get to practice law. Judges don't practice law. Judges know the law and enforce the law.
So when you're thinking about... I mean, so there were, like, what, there were 3 major degrees that you could go into: law, medicine, and do you know what the third one is? Like, this is like, 1400s, even prior. There was a third one.
Law, medicine.
Theology.
You could practice theology?
That's what I'm saying. So, like, when you're thinking about practicing medicine,
are you serious?
Practicing law, and then practicing theology, like, to me, like, theology is something, I mean, where you would say, like, if I'm practicing it, like, that doesn't sound so bad, like, but practicing medicine, like, I don't want you to practice. I want you to know what you're doing. Is it the same thing? Like, when you're handling theology, you also want somebody to know what they're doing, right?
You know what? I'm wondering if practicing gives the permission for what is unknown to become known. I mean, back in the day, they used to use leeches,
right,
to
bloodletting,
to purify bloodstream. Okay, right. Go with me here for a minute.
Yeah.
In law, laws are always changing, depending on the demand.
Right.
So lawyers could practice. I think it also helped them not getting sued for malpractice. Like, somebody comes in and be like, yeah, this lawyer didn't do his job and they really screwed up, so now I'm going to sue you. And the lawyer can come and say, Judge, I was just practicing law.
Don't worry. I was just practicing.
It wasn't the real deal. It was just practice.
Right.
But theologians have gone the direct opposite way. Theologians are like, hey, I learned this theology, this is what's right. And I'd really like them to practice it more. Pursue the unknown.
Right.
What is it about your theology that you really aren't aware of?
Right.
Or you don't know? Maybe you ought to practice some theology. In the Western culture, they're not practicing theology much anymore. Guh.
Right. No, that's a good thought. I went with you, and I can see where you're going with it. So
That's why I couldn't even imagine that it was a practice,
right.
because that's not the reality that I see of what people
Mm-hmm.
are portraying.
Right.
I'd love to hear some preacher say at some point in time, hey, I really don't have this figured out. Well, I do get to hear you say that frequently from the pulpit.
Yeah,
here,
I don't mind saying it.
Not everybody, is listening to you preach, so they wouldn't know that that's, but they could check it out on YouTube though.
You could.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
No,
Trailer
so
this. I'm telling you, if you're looking
gonna
into
be
the
good.
trailer and you're listening to it or you're watching it and you're saying, "Whoa," they're in a mood.
They're in a mood.
Then I would say we are
Just
carrying
wait.
over the mood that we were in
Uh-huh.
for the episode,
Yeah.
and it won't disappoint. Actually, I might flag that one, that if I need to chuckle, I'm going to listen to that episode multiple times. So if the numbers are
good one.
skewed and all of a sudden you're like, hey, where did we get these 1,500 people? It's like, Cole's been depressed for the last 5 years. He's listening to the same episode over and over again every day. It would be like me watching Ray or Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
Walk the Line, Ford versus Fry,
Uh-huh.
and Hidden Figures. Those are the top 5.
Yeah. That's good.
I've seen all those movies so many times.
Yeah.
I'll keep doing it too.
Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, it's my circus,
Mhm.
my monkey.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. Oh,
I can get into circular conversations very easily.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's circular.
And if people would ever wonder about why I'm committed to being a couch potato, it's
Mhm.
because these mental aerobics wear me out.
Yeah.
It doesn't burn calories.
Yeah.
But it wears me out.
Mm-hmm. It does.
So,
All right, so go do your job out there as listeners of Cut Daisies and Unicorns. Make sure you're interacting, make sure you're sharing, make sure you're subscribing if you haven't already. These are all good things.
and I would say, hey, thanks for the text for the people who know me and have my phone number.
Yeah.
Thanks for the text and the encouragement. Really appreciate it. And for the people who don't know us and are wondering how in the world they could send us a text, you can't. We're not giving you our phone numbers.
But
The answer is no. We're not going to do it. But you can send us an email
that's right.
and start the conversation there. We're
Uh-huh.
still waiting for somebody to write down a story
I know.
that I'll bring my IPR place in and read your story and tell people about the things that you document.
Right. So, cutdaisiesandunicorns@gmail.com.
Boom.
That's where you can get us.
Email. You can do it there.
Do
Okay?
it. Hit it up. All right, everybody. Good to see you. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. Take care.
And it's great to be seen. Love being here. Looking forward to our next time together. Later.